In Series 6 of this new Netflix original series, we explore the history of lingerie. For the longest of times, women have been looking for ways to support, suppress, or accentuate their female body parts. From the origins of basic undergarments to the birth of the underwire bra, it turns out we have ancient Egyptians to thank for it. Egyptians wore a band of linen underneath their diaphanous robes to flatten the bust line. While in China they were developing their own solutions, women wore single-pieced underpinnings that covered the breasts and belly but left the back exposed. 3,000 years ago, Cretan women pretty much invented the corset to get a wasp-waisted look that predated actress Mae West's hourglass figure.
Well, it's better to be looked over than overlooked.
But how did we get from there to sophisticated lingerie brands such as Perla or Agent Provocateur ruling the eclectic world of lingerie? In fact, lingerie did not arrive fully fashioned for seduction. It has evolved over decades. For the most part, underwear was a status symbol worn by nobility, while the rest of the population went commando. Catherine de' Medici is credited with inventing the panty so she could ride her horse without exposing her low hands to the world.
You can't know that.
Early undies consisted of two separate legs joined at the waist. The can-can craze of the 19th century created the need to join the two halves and the desire to make drawers frillier and more fun. In 1904, the Charles R. de Beauvoir Company first labelled a woman's bra-like garment a brasserie. It was actually a light bones camisole that helped stabilise the breasts. By 1907, the term brasserie began to show up in high-profile women's magazines. The boyish fashions of the 1920s were unforgiving of bulky underwear, but developments in fabric technology allowed women to wear slinky petticoats that also helped them achieve the desired androgynous silhouette.
Nightwear and lingerie to suit every taste and every pocket is on display.
In the 40s and 50s, technological advances in fabrics such as nylon and polyester led to a boom in the American lingerie industry. Underwear was engineered to create cartoonish curves like Starlet Jane Russell's B-52-shaped Playtex bras or the wasp waists needed to get into Christian Dior's new look fashion. As lingerie manufacturers like Fredericks of Hollywood began to glamorize lingerie, the choices of intimate accessories exploded. Pin-up models of the day now posed in bustiers, filmy negligees and naughty 90s.
Square, cup, or pear-shaped, these rhinestones
While most women were trapped up in girdles, notorious 1940s pin-up model Betty Page made her name in the 50s, wearing more risky lingerie. Whips, rubber and bondage gear were her regular accessories. For the world of lingerie, the 1960s became more youthful and girlish, with playful baby doll nighties and frills to match the coquettish mini dresses of the time. By 1966, stylish young women were having fun with playful underwear shapes and patterns. Developments in underwear technology in the 60s allowed women to choose the style of bra they wanted, and the first recognisable modern shapes were born. The girly style of the 60s gave way to a more sophisticated, womanly look in the 1970s, with luxurious fabrics like silk and lace in elegant designs. Big hair, sensuous fabrics, as well as a touch of marabou were the quintessential elements of the 70s style. The 1980s brought us thongs, the G-string and bodysuits, as infamously worn by Cher. while the 90s were defined by a cool minimalism, personified by the newest supermodel on the block, Kate Moss, looking stunning in Calvin Klein's black and white campaigns. Calvin Klein's branded waistband became a style status symbol and was soon to be spotted poking above the waistband of jeans. Ever the trendsetter, Madonna ushered in the vogue for underwear as outerwear on her Blonde Ambition tour in 1990, with a little help from Jean-Paul Gaultier and his pointy bras. After all the 90s androgyny, in 2001, Agent Provocateur brought sexy back with a bang. Specifically, Kylie Minogue riding a bucking Bronco in AP Smalls in what has since been voted the sexiest advertisement of all time.
Would all the men in the audience stand up?
Nowadays, American brand Victoria's Secret is the biggest lingerie seller in the world. Their catwalk shows are legendary and see the likes of Adriana Lima, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, and now a host of new faces regularly introduced to their annual show, strutting their stuff in elaborate carnival-styled costumes. The magic element that made lingerie sexy has been redefined over the decades. What should it cover or expose? Should it look more romantic or edgy? Today, a lot of designer brands like Bordel and Dita Von Teese have unabashedly plundered the 1950s demi-monde archive and BDSM, so it seems that lingerie freely samples from almost every era of underwear history. Stars like Katy Perry have reclaimed the high-waisted shorts of the 40s and bullet bras of the 1950s. Stella McCartney has made the granny panties popular again, and even chemises covered in leopard print from the modest 1920s are back in trend.